Hey guys, welcome back to More Than a Match. Myself, Damani, and RH. How are we feeling, Raz?
Unreal. Sun's out, Factor 50's on. Another episode's coming. Great guest today.
Yeah, we have got a great guest. Who is it?
It's Dan Adshead, and not only is it a good guest for his story, he's just a good guy, innit?
Top bloke.
He's just he's part of the RH family, innit?
Yeah, he is.
Comes, small-sided games. He's very good in small-sided.
He is. He's a player.
He's not in 11v11.
No, he's good in 11v11. At the moment, not playing. Obviously, we may as well get into it. Suffered a broken leg.
Yeah.
Hobbled in on crutches. The commitment that Dan's give us today, hobbling down the stairs on his crutches, is second to none. So let's talk about that, Dan. How did it happen, and how are you getting on?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously sent you both the clip at the time. We played. I just signed for Boston, and it was my third game. First start in the National League, I want to say. Playing Ebbsfleet at home, and it's just clean break. I've gone in. It's just chaos going on, and the lads just caught me on the way through on a when he's cleared the ball, and clean break. But they said if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it how I've done it. Do you know what I mean? It's completely the best way to do it. But nightmare.
Yeah, obviously we've watched the video. You can hear. I know we don't want to get into graphic things. You can hear the sound, which is not great. But the fact, I said it to you before we come on the camera. Like you got up and hobbled off, which is
mad.
That's character.
Adrenaline, innit?
Yeah.
Adrenaline, that, innit?
Yeah, I said to the physio, just give me a minute. Let me see if I can do it. Gone to start running, and then I knew straight away, to be honest.
What does that feel like though when you know straight away? Because I didn't.
It's just heartbreaking, innit? Because I knew it was bad. I think I've got quite a decent tolerance for pain, and then I knew it was bad. Like you said, you can hear it, and I was just getting going, really, just finding my rhythm, and it's just the last thing you need in a situation like that.
Talk about that. Obviously, you've had a serious injury as well, and talk about the mental side of it as well, Dan. If you could give us a little bit of insight. We always discuss it on More Than a Match, the mental side when you're injured. It's tough, innit?
Lonely, innit?
It's very difficult. And any advice, any guidance to young academy players or players is what we like to educate, don't we, D, on More Than a Match for them if they're going through anything like this?
Yeah, I mean, like Dee said, it is a lonely place, but it's a privilege at the end of the day. You're getting paid to do every single lad's dream.
Yeah.
So, obviously people don't understand how lonely it is in terms of, you sat maybe in the gym on the watt bike, you can see the lads out all training. I would just say just to keep going. There's a lot,
you have to try and find positives, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot more worse things happening to other people in the world. Not to get too deep straight away.
No, it's good. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's right though.
Really good.
Yeah. So just perseverance, really. Just keep going, because there is a lot more bad times in football than good times. I think every player will tell you that.
100%.
But the good times will come if you keep pushing through.
We've always discussed that, don't we? Roller coaster of emotions. Football. You've just won the league for Macclesfield. You're on a high. Hopefully everyone wants them moments, but unfortunately football, you might go through a run of bad form and injuries and stuff like that, or looking for a club and other things. It's a tough time, but the process now for you, where we're looking at any goals that you set in, the time frame where we're looking.
Just like I was saying to you off air, everyone's for this sort of injury, everyone's different. So for me, it's just day by day, keep going, keep been in the gym every day, because to keep myself sane more than anything. Just keep it going day by day. I had a cast on for 12 weeks in this boot now. This boot should hopefully be coming off week today. And then I can really kick on then, really, make progress with my rehab.
I love it. So let's move on more positive, more positive.
Start doom and gloom. Everyone start crying here.
Everyone's either crying or left, one of the two. But no, it's not that. It's very important that we highlight it.
It's important.
It is. And again, the reason why me and Damani started this, it's real. It's real life stories. There's not just what you see on the pitch. It's off the pitch. It's a full story. So let's tear it all back. Where did it all start? On your footballing journey. From what age? Where was you at? And let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, just like every other lad, really. My mum and dad just took me to the local club, which was Rochdale at the time.
Yeah.
Look at you smiling there.
Shout out to Rochdale. Hey, come on, mate. Come on. You got to represent. You got to represent.
And I got scouted by Blackburn, and then that was like the first academy that I went into. So I went in. I think I was on a 6-week trial, but they said no anyway. And then, but they said, what we will do is we'll put you in contact with somebody at Rochdale.
Okay.
So then I went there, and then they signed me, and I was there from the age of 8 all the way up to 17.
Yeah, I think very important thing that Dan said there. Rejection. Yeah. Didn't let that affect you. I think there's 92 football league clubs. These opportunities, games are full of opinions. I think again, bounce back ability. I'm sure there'll be a lot of young players watching that have come through,
gone through something like that, and
definitely. I think it's important, again, going back to the mental side and backing yourself. It's very important. So let's get into that. At 15, obviously you made your under-18s debut.
14.
Oh,
go on,
okay.
get your facts right.
More than a match research team. Don't think that's gone down too well. So 14, even more impressive.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Cheers, Dan. Wrecking the podcast here. Bloody hell. So, like I said, either people have turned off bad research. You've gone anyway now, haven't
just go along with it. Next time,
it was 15 minutes. So 14, even more impressive.
Yeah.
Again, playing against 16, 17, 18-year-olds. What was that like for you?
It was just a bit surreal, really, because it all happened quickly. I was playing a game for the under-14s, had a good game, and then there was an agency that come over to my dad on the side, and just trying to sign me up, really. And then we're naive, we don't really know anything about football. My dad didn't play, or no one in the family played, so he's gone and told the academy manager at the time, Tony Ellis. And I don't think he was best pleased with someone trying to get one of his players. But long story short, I was just, from that moment, I was just accelerated, really. Yeah. Started playing with the 15s, training with the 16s, and then eventually got up to the 18s. But it's brilliant. They all took care of me as well.
Brilliant.
Great group of lads. Never forget them. Them lads, because I was a really young lad. So it's good.
But then he went on to make your debut, didn't you? 16 years old.
Yeah, 16.
16 years old, 17 days. Is that true?
That's right, yeah.
Come on, we're back in the game. Just to fall back there about an agency's approach you on the side. That's why agencies now can't stand with parents. Because
you're separate all the time, and they have to tell you who comes in, don't they?
Yeah, you've always got to give a listing. So again, very informative. If anyone's watching who gets approached by an agent on the side.
But just also, what's your what do you think of agents, Dan, personally?
In terms of what?
As in, do you think you need them? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad?
I think, like I said before, my family, we didn't really know anything about football at all. So I think you do need someone with that football knowledge to advise you in a way that, you need to be advised. I think I don't want to say the wrong thing here.
Yeah, no, listen.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on then. More than a match, a bit of shade then, is it? Come on, help him out then.
I just feel like some agents, it's a business, isn't it? You want the best player, and you want to make the most money, really, don't you? Because that's what you're a what's the word? Like a
advisor, or
some agents have good intentions, some have bad, but
I think all agents.
It's a business at the end of the day, and not all agents are bad, or I'm not saying they're all bad, but there's some that are out there that just want to make money in it, really.
No, you need one
who understands you.
Yeah, you need one who wants you for you, in terms of looks after your best interest. Doesn't look after their best interest.
Yeah, correct. I think I agree with that. Me doing what I do, and I've come in contact with some great agents who who look after their players and stuff like that. But again, like Dan said there, it's the best interest and it's all about your development. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like with agencies, in big companies, there's a lot of players, and it's important that even if they have got a lot of players, that attention to detail is so important. Sometimes, you know, players might be promised something and get left behind. I think that sometimes that's a bit wrong. But my personal opinion, talking about my view on agents in my career, I thought my experience was not very good with agents. Right. I feel like it promised a lot, didn't really come through with them promises. The way it ended in terms of the communication, the lack of communication was shocking. In the end, my dad had to write a letter to the FA to get me out of a contract, which was absolutely shocking. And you go on about the personal relationships and the relationship that you should form with a player. Writing a letter to get out of a contract is absolutely shocking. So I think I've helped out with your answer there, Dan. But again, my opinion on agents changed.
It's not an opinion, knowing it, like you said, but I think it's hard, as you said, Dan, when your parents don't know anything and you're all naive, because agents have the best chat. Like, they'll tell you everything you want to hear. And to like a parent that doesn't know about football or something like that, it's like overwhelming, isn't it? Like, because they're promising you the world, but then like, you're the player as well, so it's down to you as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's important to have people you can bounce ideas off and say, or what do you think of this, or what do you think of that? Or clubs should have a bit more input.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
As in, like, you don't really know much about agents, say this is what we should advise. If you don't want to take it, fair enough, but if you do, then just a bit of advice, really.
And I was lucky in that way, really, because like I said, my dad went to one of the coaches, and then from there, they all just started advising me then in the best way.
That's brilliant.
I was really lucky.
Again, it's a fine line now, though, isn't it? Because again, they've also got to protect their club as well. Because if someone does come in for you for a fee, which we'll go on to, the club obviously they might have the club hat on as well, where it's like, right, you know, this is the right direction, but they might have the club hat on as well. It's very different, dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
But again, going back to myself, it's changed in sort of my coaching thing, because I've come around, you know, great people who are helping the young players or older players. So but from my personal experience, it wasn't good, but it has changed. Without you out there, Dan. up the RH. So coming into the first team, 16 years old, mate, like still in school.
Yeah, that's mental,
mate.
You must be going to school, like.
Conor McGregor walking in, mate. Blazer on, tie on like that. Loving life. So, what was that like? Again, you know, have a think back and like the emotions. Again, popularity might have been great, but again, around a senior environment, like, is it true that you had to dress away from the players due to safeguarding?
Yeah, we played Bury away. That was my first game. I had to get changed in the prayer room.
Wow.
Which was mad experience, because I didn't know I had to do that until I got there. But going back to what you said, it's just surreal, really. But I was pushed into the first team really at 14. Like, I was training with them every school holidays when I was 14, and then they'd start taking me out of school to train with them. So I really did get accelerated. So, you know, talking about it now, it sounds like a really big thing, and it was, but you don't really realise what's happening when you're in the moment, do you? It's only now when you sit back and reflect.
Like you said, it goes so fast, doesn't it?
Exactly, you never really have time to look around and see what's happening.
Can you imagine now, looking at a 14-year-old now and going, right, you're going to be in a first-team environment? Like, and again, we need to step back in this a little bit. I know it's your journey, and that for me is like mental, unreal, because I'm looking at a 14-year-old, say who I work with or stuff like that. Could I drop you into a first team environment right now? Even if you asked a parent, they would go, no chance. So the fact that you done that is unbelievable.
I know, I just got to be grateful to the people at the time. Keith Hill was the manager. Like I said, Tony Ellis, Kevin Gibbons, Lee Riley, all them coaches. They're the ones that shaped me and, you know, give me the principles to be able to handle myself in that sort of environment, because as you know, first team environment's a lot different to academy. But, you know, I felt I was well equipped. Like I said to you, all the boys looked after me, but to answer your question, no, I couldn't really see a 14-year-old doing it. I've been at a lot of clubs since, and, you know, not seen any 14-year-old, so quite a decent.
I hope I'm right in saying this. Are you the youngest ever player to play for Rochdale?
I don't think I am anymore, no.
Okay.
I think they I was at the time,
Is it Ethan Briley? Has he took over?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you actually. It was.
Maybe after our research team will we'll do a job on that. But again, even that in itself, someone at 16 years of age, going into a first team environment, 14.
How did you find that? Like, knowing that when they're telling you like, you're gonna play with the first team now, and you're only 14.
I think like when you're that age, you don't think. You don't overthink. You just play. You just enjoy the game. You just turn up and play. So everything was just happening, and I weren't really realising, to be honest, what was going on. But yeah, it's just a crazy experience. Yeah.
I've got a question. Again, it might be a mad question. You looking back now, what was it that the coaches seen in you to get you to a first team environment at such a young age? What do you think it was that give you a bit of extra? Because if you think about it as well, like he's 14, you've got the 15, 16, 17 youth team. Yeah. Like you've bypassed 3 or 4 age groups. Wonder what them lads are thinking. Imagine a second year scholar. Oh my mate, my head's going, this 14-year-old kid. Like, so what do you think on that? Like,
what did you have? What they didn't?
This is unreal. More than a match or a joke, aren't they?
I don't
they
know
really
really,
are.
to be honest. Good question.
Cheers, mate.
Guess you'd have to ask the coaches. I don't know. I was just playing well, just performing well, and every time I stepped up, like obviously I was 14, so then I had to make the, was at the 15s and the 16s and the 18s, and it was just, there was no real drop off in my performance or anything. So I think it was just them seeing that I could handle myself in that sort of environment, jump. That they just pushed me on. But Rochdale were good for that. You see after me, there was a lot of young lads. Even now, there's young lads. So it was a perfect club for me to be at that time. They
have developed players and moved them on. Again with that Ethan Briley, he went to Brentford. I think there's been quite a lot of story. I think you was the first to set him on the way.
I'm not sure. There's a few before me. Your Callum Camps, Andy Cannons, Jamie Allens.
Where did they go?
Jamie Allen's the skipper at Coventry now.
Okay.
Camps is at Stockport.
So good pedigree of players.
Just been promoted with Wrexham.
Yeah,
so
brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant set of. But when I first went into the first team, this was the team. Do you know what I mean? They all looked after me as well. So there's no one better to learn from.
I've heard about that Andy Cannon. Good friend of ours, Danny Hewitt. Shout out to Danny Hewitt. Summer football, he's always on about Andy Cannon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great that you recognise like them sort of people as well, the teammates.
Yeah.
Like,
and you still remember them, don't you? So
yeah, you look up to them, don't you? Especially at that age when I was just breaking through. You wanna be them really. It
means a lot as well, like them helping you out when they're such a young age, because it can be daunting going into an environment like that because you don't know what to expect. But when there's players that look after you, it's easy, isn't it?
Exactly. I remember my first training session when I was 14. It's mad now thinking back to this, but we trained at Platt Lane, Rochdale. I think they still do actually, but so I had to get changed again in a different changing room to everyone. But my dad was with me. So can you imagine going into training now and it's just a lad sat there and your dad's in the changing room. So I remember at the time Ian Henderson, Hendo,
what a guy.
Just told him don't worry, we'll look after him.
Yeah. It's classic. Hendo.
Yeah, he is.
Such an amazing guy. Yeah.
Is he a nice bloke? Yeah. Is he still at Rochdale?
Yeah. He's a player
as well.
Still
scoring.
He's a player.
Yeah.
Ripped out his mind, isn't he?
Yeah,
what was it that he took you under his wing and made you feel valued and stuff like that? It's brilliant.
Yeah, completely. And looking back, it was like no one needed to do that for me. So I'm just forever grateful for him. I'm still keep in touch with all of them now. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
He had a massive impact on me. So, and I definitely wouldn't have ended up doing what I did at Rochdale without them lads. So, yeah.
So you went on to playing League One.
Yeah.
Doing your thing. Attracted interest off some big clubs. Hey, let's reel them off now, dude. Right, go on.
Chelsea,
Man United,
Arsenal,
Man City,
Bayern,
Barcelona,
Liverpool.
What's going on?
Sure
Spurs. Hey, all these names. Listen, we're all going off what research teams and stuff like that. But these are being linked. Well, you was being linked to some mad clubs.
Yeah.
Again, first question off that would be, while you're in the moment, and I know you're playing with freedom, you're a young lad, do you start hearing whispers that people are interested, or how are you? Are you just solely focused on, I'm a young lad, I want to play as many games as I can for Rochdale League One, or are you thinking, oh my God, these big clubs are
You know what? It's probably neither. It was just going back to what we said before. It was I didn't really know how anything worked. So anything like that you just said, them
It was a
teams
bonus.
there, it's like I didn't know anything about that. No one said anything to me, but I just thought this is how it works.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if there's truth in, buying a Barca and that, but I'll take it,
Take it all day. Take it all day, mate.
Deny it, but I just didn't really think too much about it again. It's obviously nice to hear all them teams after you, but my sole focus was on Rochdale because they did a lot for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like not the sort of character to just turn my nose up and start thinking of other things.
Grateful.
So, I think the reason why I asked it is because again, the modern day, and I'm not calling you old by any stretch here, but again, we're going back a few years. Don't start with this. Going back a few years now, if say that would happen, you've got the social media, you've got everything circling around like this big. We see it now, don't we? About some top players being linked with here, there, and people will hear about it. So that's the reason why I just wanted to ask that question because. Again, like you're probably you're in where everyone wants to be at such a young age. Yeah. But nowadays you would hear about that, wouldn't you? And how it would affect
Fabrizio
Romano, Dan Adshead. Here we go. No, it's looking back now. Like I know, again, you're still playing and stuff like that. You must feel immensely proud of like what you've done so far in your career. Like it's amazing, it really is.
Yeah, I've never really sat back and thought about it. Football's so like onto the next. I've never really sat back and reflected. But looking back, it's what I was doing was decent. Yeah.
So then, obviously, the move to Norwich came around. Substantial fee that they paid for you. Again, like what was that like during that time? I'm sure the club was communicating with you, our agents were communicating with you. And why Norwich? Why did you take that decision to go there?
It was just. Obviously, you've just named all them big teams. Obviously, Norwich is a massive club, but I think Norwich had a pathway for me that I could really buy into and see myself in a first team environment. I was obviously playing against all them teams as a young lad, and am I really going to go and get in Man City's first team? No, probably not. But Norwich it just seemed like the perfect fit at the time. Yeah. Just with a pathway, they similar to Rochdale, they had a reputation of bringing players through, your Max Aaronses and people like that. So, that was why really, just the pathway.
Yeah. Sorry,
what was it like the transition from Rochdale to Norwich? Was it a big difference, as in like facilities wise and stuff like that?
Yeah, massive, completely different world. It was always Rochdale was always smaller club obviously, and complete different world. They had everything, just even like their own gym was like mental. And then you go out on the training pitch, there's about 10 different pitches. It was just a complete different world. But I won it. It's good world to be in.
Of course it is. Like, imagine that. Like, again, no disrespect to Platt Lane, where they're training, but then going into an environment like that, where, like you said, the pitches are probably £1 million per pitch, and the maintenance on it, and it's like, I'm in a way, you're like, wow, look at this now. Like, and again, you want to kick on again, don't you? I think like
it's that motivation, isn't it?
What was it like for you? I know you obviously a Manchester lad, close to your family. What was that like moving away? Like, was that a massive thing for you? Did you find it difficult, or was it something that you got to terms with?
Well, at the start, my obviously Norwich is about a 5-hour drive or whatever it is. And I was 17 at the time, but I just didn't want to go in digs. Okay. Just hated the thought of digs. Yeah. So my mum actually come up with me, and then she helped me get settled in. Just as a mum, it's obviously a big thing, I imagine, as well for a mum, for a son to be moving to the complete other side of the country. Yeah. She come over with me, helped me get settled in, and then I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. Quite enjoyed getting away from just the distractions of everything at home. Do you know what I mean?
It's a new environment, isn't it? It's all fresh.
Yeah, and it's just you only have one focus then. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You would obviously know yourself. After I'd played for Rochdale, I'd just go on the Astro then with my mates after, and then just have a kick about and just get up to all sorts. But when I moved down there, it was I loved it. Beautiful place. Yeah. Just my only focus was football. Yeah, but it was COVID season, my first season, so that that killed the season really.
Yeah.
Never really got going. But
I think when you're, like Dan said there, when you're such a young age, like in the first team, like I remember a story about Rooney played in like a the Arsenal game, and then he was out like having a knock around in the streets with his mate after it, like Dan said there, because you're a kid, you just want to do kid things as well. It's like, again, there's a lot more away from it, but like having that sort of like, even though you're in that environment playing in front of thousands of people, you still want to be around your mates and do normal things. And I think that's again why we want to highlight these certain topics, because like it's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy.
Moving away is massive as well. Like you're leaving your whole life behind to go and join somewhere else.
Everything that you know.
Yeah, it's like it's daunting, isn't it? And especially at such a young age like yourself, it's daunting.
Yeah, no, it was.
But that's why you need like your people around, like your mum and your dad, because you probably them going up with you settled you down as much as you would have been by yourself.
It's the best thing to happen though. Now you know I had to, and then obviously my mum stayed for about 6 months or so, and then. I was on my own then. And it's, you know, you grow up quickly. You have to learn how to cook, learn how to clean, everything, live on your own. So, it was the best thing that could happen.
Get by, don't you?
Exactly.
Lots of learning.
Have you eaten sun? Yeah.
Have you eaten sun? Just pay for a Macca's.
Nah, my mum was good with all that stuff.
No,
she proper,
brilliant.
You know, instilled it in me. So it was.
It's brilliant. Like we've highlighted, haven't we, on the pod, like that support network with
massive
parents and like again the sacrifice that they go through, and he's unbelievable, and like you carry that for the rest of your life, whether you make it high in the game or you don't. Like the way again, like they work the backsides off and they sacrifice in taking you to training. It's massively undervalued, I think.
It is,
and up and down the country as well. About 3-4
don't miss
times
anything. Like, and again, like I know, like when you sit back, I think you said it as well, when you sit back and realise, in the moment you don't realise it, but when you get older you realise, you know what, that's amazing.
How much you do for you. And like, you'll always be in debt, always. There's nothing.
100%.
Like, every boy's dream is to make it big.
Exactly.
Just so you can look after your mum and whoever helped you out, do you know what I mean? That's the dream.
Yes.
And that's what we said about football. It's so mad because it's a sport where one day you could be like, down, and the next day you're having the season of your life and you end up somewhere. It just changes like that. It's so mad.
Great. What about the loan? Because obviously we'll go into the loans and stuff like that. You went to Holland, didn't you?
Yeah.
Second division Holland.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? Again,
amazing. Yeah, I loved every second of it. It just suited me down to the ground. The style of football, of how I play, and I just loved every second of it. Telstar was the club.
Yeah, Telstar.
We had a really good coach, Andries Jonker. I don't know if you know him. He was the assistant to Louis van Gaal at Bayern and Barca. So
nice. Just name dropping again. So
Barca wasn't
Barca was it?
No,
somewhere anyway.
Learned a lot of him because he was a different level. When I was brilliant. But again, it was COVID. It was like the second wave of COVID. So you know, no family could come over or
to experience that with you as well.
Just living on my own. But it was 20 minutes from Amsterdam, just beautiful country. Just loved everything.
Get on the bike round Amsterdam.
And it nearly killed about 3 of them on the road.
Hey, listen, we don't condone anything on more than a match, you know. How did that come around, Dan? Was because it seems a bit of a mad one, doesn't it? That you would go to Norwich to Dutch side second. How did it? Do you know about that?
Connection with Telstar. You know, players had gone before me.
Okay.
And for the way Norwich wanted to play, it was similar, you know, just that's that sort of possession style of football. So the connection between the two clubs was me and another lad went. So this American lad called Sebastian Soto. Me and him went over and
So you really enjoyed your time there, lifestyle football, like.
Was that because you wasn't playing at Norwich?
That was because I signed with the. I signed for the 23s of Norwich, so the plan was for my first year to get in a gym. Basically, that was the plan for the first year, to, you know, give me all the right foods. That was the best bit about Norwich, by the way, the food.
Nutrition.
Because it could,
it was unreal. But that was the plan for the first year, try and bulk me up, try and get all of my body ready for a first team environment. And the second year, the plan was always to go on loan, just to go and play 40 games.
Senior games as well.
Yeah. And that's what happened really. Went out there and played quite a lot, did well. So,
you know, like you said there, I know you played senior games when you was young before the Norwich move, but do you reckon that was the right plan for you? Because like physically, like would you say that you wasn't ready to play like regular at that level because of that physical element as well? I know you always back yourself in that situation, but like the plan was they might have looked at you because you might have been slight back then. You're thinking, right, if we're having longevity to build a player, and again, you know, for the viewers who've got like young players, they always look at, you know, bulking and doing things the right way, but it's important that you don't over bulk in it because then it takes away out of the game.
I think it depends what type of player you are as well. Do you know what I mean? Like some players can get away with it because like they're maybe technical or some people are physical.
I couldn't imagine him being like bulky though. Like
I couldn't.
I just can't because the way he plays, you know what I mean? Like just them little one round the corners, tight feet, and
can't get near him, so I don't know why I want him to be bulky.
You know, it reminds me of a younger RH. You know, like
it's not that good.
Hey, look at this guy. He's well trained. This lad. He's well trained.
He told me to say it.
Check the list. Yeah, you better not forget one thing at the end. Yeah, he'll be fuming if he forgets. Gillingham. You went to Gillingham on loan as well. What was that like?
That was a complete different experience. So like we just said, it was all football over in Holland, and then you know you go and sign for Steve Evans in League One. So that is a complete different end of the spectrum.
Okay.
But I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I played a lot of games again until we'll get on to it, but I ended up getting injured there. But it was good again, moved a long way away. And the style of football was just completely different.
How did you find that? The style of football, was that the hardest thing you think to?
It was just that, because even at Rochdale, my manager for after Keith Hill went was Brian Barry Murphy, who was at Man City and now he was at Leicester. But so I've always grown up with like a football style of play, and then to just go and win second balls, it was completely different.
I don't think people understand how hard that is, you know, to adapt to something that you don't know. Like you come from like an academy background, and like men's football is not always pretty, and you don't really get to like in 23s and 18s you get to keep the ball, pass from corners, like basically run it into the net. But then when you go to like these League 2, some League 1 side, it's like the whole game's different, and some people are like, why can't you adapt to this? Why can't you? Because you've never been taught it.
Yeah, you don't.
And you can't just pick up like that.
I think that's a major thing why certain players like in academies stuff can't go and make that they can't adapt to it, can they? Because like you said there, if you're used to a Man City style or a Norwich style or Rochdale, they play expansive football, keep the ball, then you go channels, second balls, it's like it's not normal, is it? It's like it's different, isn't it?
And you've not really got time to learn. Because in that environment it's results only. So
and it sort of like makes me angry, the fact that, because if a young lad goes there, it can make or break you sometimes, can't it? Because if you go somewhere and it's like, well, you didn't do very well at say Gillingham, or you didn't do well at wherever, like you're at Man United, you should go there, you should be like one of the best. Like it doesn't work like that, does it?
Not at all, because some players are not on the same wave as you are. Do you know what I mean? Like you might come to feet, but then they're just knocking it in behind. So it's sometimes you're just doing the polar opposite. And in the game, it is tough, man, especially as like a young first loan as well, because it's a completely different style, and people can't adapt like that. It takes games. You don't have games when you go to them leagues, because like you said, it's about results.
It's hard for you as well when you first loan go into a Dutch side who play some great football, and you're probably like on the ball doing your thing, and next minute like you got neck pain, you know what I mean? Like that's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it was mad. I mean, you know, the conversation that I had before I signed was everything about me being a number 10, because that's where I played when I was younger, as a 10. So I spoke to Steve Evans, and you know, he sold that to me. And then my first training session, I never forget it. I just wanted to get on the ball first day, you know, buzzing, like trying to show the lads what I can do and all that. Being busy, And I've just got on the ball, just kept dropping deep for the ball. Anyway, Saturday I'm playing holding midfield. Hardly ever played there ever in my life. I can't remember who we were playing now, but then so he used to do the team about an hour before kick-off, Steve Evans, when I was there. And then I said to the lad next to me, he's like, is that me there? Holding. He's like, yeah, is that not where you play? I've never played there ever. So it was...
so he went off the session dropping and getting on it
because...
That's a bit mad, isn't it?
That's another thing, like we were saying about learning on the job. I've never played this position either, so I've had to completely adapt my whole game
Because you're more,
for this
you'd be more attacking thinking. Now you have to defending thinking, aren't you?
Discipline, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But
how did you play?
Did all right.
Yeah,
did all right. I was.
That's the main thing then.
I was playing quite a lot, and then ended up breaking my foot in November. So that was a nightmare. And then I had to go back to Norwich for that.
Rotten luck, mate, with injuries, aren't you?
Just made of chocolate, aren't
Oh, don't be saying that, mate. Kit Kat. I'm more of a Twix kind of guy.
But that's the thing, like with the injuries that I've had, it's always been
long.
It's more so always been. It's not been like I've torn my hamstring. It's not been muscle.
Little niggles.
I mean? It's just like there was this one little piece of grass, and my foot just landed on it. You know what I mean? It's 1 in a million. So
it's tough, that.
Yeah, it's tough, but
again, part of the game, part of the roller coaster.
Yeah, and it makes you stronger as a person, because you going through these things, like nothing can be worse than that. Do you know what I mean? Like a long injury, nothing is worse than that, because all you want to do is play football, and you learn a lot about yourself in them moments.
Of course you do. Yeah, it builds resilience.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. And that's just not about like football. It's about life as well. It's what you can get through when you just put your mind to something.
I like that. It crosses over. It's important. And messages, we're always little messages, aren't we, mate? You know what I mean? It's the Manny Mellor, innit? Just what he wants.
From Gillingham, where did you go after that?
From Gillingham, I went back to Norwich for my rehab, and then Cheltenham bought me then. After that, I signed a 4-year deal at Norwich, and then in going into the 4th year, Cheltenham bought me, and then
2-year deal, was it?
2-year deal.
Undisclosed fee. Research team again. RH.
That's a roll in it, you know.
Tell you what, mate. Hey, undisclosed. No wonder he didn't talk about the agent. The agent's rolling in it. See you later, Dan.
We're off again, Dan.
It's mad, innit? No, I was. Did you play with Charlie Raglan? Our friend Charlie.
Play with Rags, yeah.
Shout out Charlie, great guy. If you've not seen the pod, check that. Charlie Raglan's obviously watched this one before that. Yeah.
So he's one of the good guys, isn't he, Rags?
Yeah, top guy.
So how was that like different to Norwich?
Yeah, completely different again. It was all just League One, just try and survive in League One. It's a completely different world to, Premier League or pushing promotion in Championship. And for whatever reason, didn't really work out for me there. I felt as if I should have played a lot more than I did. The manager that actually signed me didn't. So he signed me, and then he's gone to Barnsley about 2 weeks later. So
there's luck again.
You hear about that so much as that happening as well, don't you? It's tough, that.
Yeah, but it's what it is, isn't it? It's
football.
Yeah, it's football. So
you've done a lot of travelling then, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what advice would you give players like yourself that go from another team to another team? Like, how hard is it to like fit in and do all that process over again?
Yeah, it's difficult. You do want a home, and I do want a home. You don't want to be keeping having to bounce from club to club, but yeah, it's tough. You meet a lot of good people along the way. You just got to keep on going. It's just like anything in life, isn't it? Just keep going.
I think the way Dan is socially though. Like, he could fit into a group very easily, like just the way you are. Like, again, another message, like social. That's why social side of things is important. Because you've got to go into different environments, and you've got to not stamp your authority, but you've got to make everybody know what type of person you are on and off the pitch.
Of course.
I think there's a saying, isn't there, like where when you're quiet and stuff like that, it's classed as a bit like, not target you, but like a thing like, well, what's his problem?
But not all players are like as open, aren't they?
I know, but it's finding a way to, like, it's when and where, innit?
Yeah.
Like, again, you're a chilled out guy, but like when it comes in the dressing room, lads will get to know you that much where they go, right, I'll go and have a chat with D now, because this is the right time. If it's coming towards a game, just leave D. Like, they get to know you as a person. I think that's why social skills come into play quite a lot within football.
But I think there's also always players that no matter where you go, like say like if a new player come into my dressing room, I'd want to make him feel comfortable straight away. Like, here's this, here's that, because I'd always think I would want you to do that to me if I went to another team.
Of course.
So I think it works both ways, really, innit?
No,
I think
definitely.
a lot of people need to be like that as well. Not everybody is like that.
Yeah, you have to,
because you're scared about like the places going on. Because especially in them leagues, I know you was on 2-year deals and stuff like that. But some lads are on one, and it's again you've been through
scary,
it. I know you like 1 year. You're fighting all the time for your next contract and stuff. It's tough.
But also like players, like look at you different from where you're from. Do you know what I mean? And that could be added pressure to you, like, oh, he's from Norwich. Yeah. Like this guy's going to be sick, or this guy's going to be this, or do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of stigma in dressing rooms. So like you said, I think if you open, like, bounce around and that, it just gets forgotten about. But some people are quiet and like.
Well, I think that's just what people are like. Yeah. You know, you can't really
judge anyone.
Can't judge anyone for how they are. Yeah. I mean, the social side of football is the majority. I mean, you probably see your teammates a lot more than you see your family. You know, the social side is probably 90% of it. And if you don't get on with the team or get on with the lads, you know, it not only does it, you can see it on the pitch, but you know, the majority of lads are going home to a one-bed apartment just on their own.
It's tough.
So it's a tough place, but that's just part of football, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. So then you ended up going back to your boyhood club, Rochdale, on a loan. You got injured.
Well, I never went.
Did you never go?
No, I never ended up going.
Wow.
So again, I tore my first season at Cheltenham. Tore my knee. I can't remember what month, but I tore it, and then I was out for a while. Tore my MCL, and then just to go and get games, spoke to the manager, and he said, just go and play in the Rochdale in League 2. Just go and play, and then so I signed it on deadline day.
I think I remember that. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, you were there. I think
I was there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Dan's coming in. I was like, yes, Dan's coming in, and he's not turned up. Where is he?
Did you know Dan before, like, playing, and like say, like, you know, we'll get onto it, like trialing together? Did you know Dan from playing against each other, or
I did play against you,
or from Manchester area, so you was aware of him, and you knew what type of player he was?
Yeah, and I thought, right, like, everyone was like, oh, Dan's coming in, he's been at Rochdale, this and that. I was like, oh yeah, get in there. And then he was like, where's Dan? Anyone know where Dan is?
Where's Dan?
He's not coming.
Where's Wally? Where's Dan?
Yeah, no, it was mad. Just never ended up going in. Because the last day of rehab I tore it again. So that was me done then. For the season. So yeah, mad situation.
And then you ended up getting relegated as well that season.
Yeah, I still did, yeah. When I'm going back to me and D, I think you were a year above me, were you?
Yeah. But he obviously played up, didn't he? Because he was so good.
Would have played against each other.
Like, you just seen his hair.
Yeah,
you know
still can, mate. I do that sometimes. I flip mine quite nice. It's one of these.
You're from Beswick as well, aren't you? Yeah. So
it's got two Beswick lads, yeah. I feel a bit threatened here in the middle. Charleston's in the middle. Saying that, he did go and play for Charleston,
he did.
So he has got a loyalty there. Yeah. But so you never ended up going there?
No, that season was just a nightmare, to be honest.
Was it?
Yeah. Started a few games in the league at the start, and then just never got going at all.
So then the next one you would go back to Cheltenham, and then was it filed?
Yeah, filed.
How was that for you?
Brilliant. Yeah, I loved it. It was again, I just needed to go and play. It was my old assistant manager, Chris Beach, was the manager there, so I always had a really good relationship with him. He was the assistant when I was coming through. So I just went and played. Yeah. Went and enjoyed my football again. Went and got confidence back, and
brilliant.
And we ended up with doing well, doing really well.
I think that's the most important thing, knowing it. Like when you are playing, like, you're just so happy, aren't you? It's the
confidence.
When you're not playing, it's horrible.
It's the best and worst thing in the world, isn't it? When you're playing and flying, and then when you're not, it's
because you the mentality again, in it, like, you want to play every minute, and
I don't think there's no footballer that doesn't want to play.
I know, it hurts watching, even though it's a team. We've said this, haven't we? Like, you want to be a part of it, don't you?
And no one wants to get injured either. Like, some people think, oh, why is he always injured? Why is this guy always injured? But like, no one wants to be injured. It just happens. It's part of the game, innit?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's tough. On that there, like you said, Chris Beach was at filed. Like, again, we've mentioned it before. It's great. It's great that people that you've worked with in the past, like, value you that much that they want to take you or bring you into, like, certain environments. And we spoke about who you know and stuff like that. But that's a massive topic as well, innit? Because he knows what you're about. He knows what you like as a person, as a player, like, various different factors. Do you feel like that is massive in football, about relying on people when they need it?
What, in terms of the manager?
In terms of the managers and players and stuff, like, because you see it over the years where managers have gone places and they go back and take the same players with them. Like, Harry Redknapp was famous for it with Cranshaw, or you know, Mark Hughes were famous for it with our mate Stevie. You know what I mean? Like, because you can rely on him.
Yeah, you just know what you're gonna get, don't you?
Yeah.
If you've built that relationship previously, you know, that you can rely on them.
Yeah.
And even with the player, you know, you can rely on the manager. You know what you're going to get from the manager as well. But yeah, like you say, it is a big thing in football. So
yeah,
it was mad for me though, because he was the assistant manager,
and then he went to the gaffer.
Now he was the gaffer.
Did he change? Or was he still the same sort of personality, but in a different role?
Yeah, still the same, just with a bit more.
I think you have to change a bit.
Yeah, you do.
That authority. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
But his son used to, when I was at Rochdale, Brandon, he was used to bring him in to training every day, and he just loves football, Brandon. But
he's a genius about football.
He's just like knows everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But
did he do like the analysis sometimes?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So that was the maddest bit for me. I would go into meetings and Brandon's doing the analysis.
That's so mega. So how old would Brandon be at that time when you was originally there to start off with?
Like he's 20. I think he's 21 or 22 now. So.
Okay,
been,
so
13, 12.
That's mega, that, isn't it? Fair play to him as well.
Everything
he knows everything.
You could ask him a question, he'd tell you.
Yeah,
that's brilliant, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is he still at File now, or is he?
No, they
parted ways with them.
Sorry, parted ways with them. Yeah. So not sure what they're doing though.
Yeah, hopefully get back in somewhere. So then again, you leave Cheltenham for good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll talk about it. Like, what's that like as a player where you have to go trialling at places? I know you two met at Morecambe, like trialling. Well, Morecambe Harriers, Morecambe Harriers club. Yeah. Again, that you used to share the stories, or what's that like in terms of trialling?
For me, it's just like, you know, we're talking about my story there, and I've never been in that situation ever. To the point where you're trialling, you know, it's quite humbling actually. Without, you know, you'd probably be the same, you know, coming through at Man United. You know, I've never had to go and
prove yourself.
You always have to prove yourself, but in a way where there's no security, like you're fighting for your life.
Yeah,
now.
It's your life. Scary.
And it brings out a different side of you, really. You know, you realise quickly that football, you can quickly end up with nothing, and you know, you got to not take things for granted. It just really does bring you back down to earth. Yeah. Not that I was ever up in the sky, but you know what I'm saying. It's just a humbling experience.
For people on the outside who don't know you, obviously me and Damani know you, but like this is why this story is so powerful. Is like you made your debut League One so young, get a Premier League move, and it's like everyone thinks like you keep going, don't you? And listen, not by no means of thinking, you know, you're on a decline, but like people need to know what it's really about in terms of the story. Like if we would have said to you, if we would have chatted them, like in 5 years you're going to be without a club or whatever, I know you've got a club, but like you're going trialing places, you would have probably gone, nah, no chance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You'd have probably just laughed.
That's what I'm saying, but that's football.
Arrogant or anything, I've never in a million years would you see that. And it's not, for me, it's not a case of like you always hear of you know, there wasn't any pressure, but you know, there was quite a lot of talk about me when I was younger, and to see where I am now. But it's not a case of, you know, maybe they started going out, or you know, they started hanging around with the wrong crowd, or it's nothing. Attitude. It's nothing to do with any of that. It's just a case of, for me, probably just
luck and
timing, luck, wrong place, wrong time, maybe with the Norwich move and stuff, and
injuries, unfortunately, like it's all part of the game.
Long injuries, but you know, like when you said about trialing, it just brings out a different motivation to, you know, just never make sure that I'm ever in that position again.
I think the hardest bit about trialing as well is you give so much, and sometimes it's not enough. Yeah. Like, you're like, why did that not work out, or why did he reject me there? Like I tried so hard. Like we was just at Morecambe, we was just running. We was at the top of everything, cause he was like, come on, like he was behind me, go on, keep pushing me.
Yeah. Rumour has it you completed the bleep test, is that true?
It was a yo-yo test, wasn't it?
Yo-yo test.
Completed it.
Flying.
Flying.
That's me signed.
Everyone's watching, I'm still going, yeah, gaffer. Didn't get a contract. Anyway, don't complete the yo-yo test. I'm joking. But it was like Dan said, it was a humbling experience, and like it's something that no player wants to ever do, but you might find yourself in them situations, and you, like Dan said before as well, you just got to keep persevering and keep going, because you will find a home, and you'll find somewhere where someone wants to take you, and that could be the catalyst to bigger things to go on. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to go down to go up.
Like definitely.
look at Harry Kane. He went on how many loans? Yeah. And look at him now. He's one of the best players in the world.
I was going to say that obviously your story, Macclesfield, down to go up.
Yeah.
And even you, Dan, we was talking about before, you know, whether to go into the National League or the National League North, different circumstances. You had a thought process, and again you found a home, and you was doing really well. You was finding your feet until obviously what we discussed at the start with the injury. But again, like, still so young, and someone with your potential and your ability, like, touch wood, you just, and same with you, D, like, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You've been there, you're going to get back there, and that's why it's so powerful.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, what we were talking about before about setbacks, and, you know, even not getting in at Blackburn when I was 8, you know, it all builds you and shapes you to to just keep going.
I think that's so important, that not giving up, because if you don't give up, you'll end up somewhere, and it could be the best thing that's ever happened. Like, to me, for me, Macclesfield's been one of the greatest things that's probably happened to me. Like, I've enjoyed myself so much, and that's just from not giving up. Do you know what I mean? Like, just keep going, because you'll find somewhere, like, something will drop for you, because you have that determination not to give up. There'll be players that give up, and there might have been something there for them, but
hard work pays off as well. I'm a firm believer in that. Again, like what you see in pre-season with you and your running and your work ethic and everything, it's got to pay off. And at the end of the day, how are you finding it at the moment? Obviously, before you was injured, how was you finding the level and the team? How was you finding it good, and you was happy? And
yeah, it's good. It's you know, I think unless you're in football, you don't realise how good the standard of the leagues are. You know, if you're an outsider and you're here, even probably League 1, League 2, you're probably, you know, not thinking that they're very good, but the standard is unbelievable, and the National League is nowhere near, not far off League 2 at all.
Yeah. The standard are getting better and better in the lower leagues.
Yeah, no, you look at some of the teams in National League, you know, your Forest Greens, even your Oldhams, Yorks, it's a brilliant standard, so I'm enjoying it. I'm just can't wait to get back now, to be honest. It's been a long journey, still got a long way to go with this leg, but, you know, as soon as I'm back, I'm looking forward to just getting back out there and showing people what I can do, trying to find that performance level back that I know I can give.
100%. Moving on, best players played with, best players played against. Bloody hell, I can't even speak, can I?
Nervous.
Bloody hell.
Who would you say your best players you played against and with?
With, I don't want to name drop anything in.
No, go on. This is what we're here for.
You already name dropped a couple.
Name drop. You've already got Barcelona. You may as well get him in.
The best would be it'll be Curtis Jones, I think.
Curtis Jones.
Bukayo Saka. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They big fish. Played with them at England a few times. So them two. Anthony Gordon as well was just scary good.
What was the England stuff like for you as well, representing, you know, we say it quite a lot, like even youth level, that must have been a proud moment for you and your family as well.
Yeah, that was, to be honest, that was everything that I ever wanted to do.
Dream.
Yeah, when I was 14 and like you say, I started getting in the first team, there was a real
stigma. There
was a real motivation inside me to go and play for England, because I was on standby from 14 till you know, but my point was that was frustrating for me. You know, I wanted to get in so badly, and I did. It was brilliant. It was humbling again, because it was funny actually. I was at Rochdale when I first played for England. You know, there's all these big names,
big clubs, Cat Ones and stuff.
So it was a mad experience for me. I loved it, to be fair. It's funny, I was just so busy like that first day. I got first lunch. Oh no, tea. Sorry.
Apple crumble like that.
I'm putting my plate like salad and all sorts on this, and I'm looking over. Curtis Jones just won the Prem for Nutella on toast.
That's class.
I
love it.
That. But
that is funny,
no, it was good. It was good. Good experience.
Yeah. So best players played against. Anyone that sticks out?
It'd have to be Moussa Dembele.
Yeah. Wow, that's some
name,
time.
Yeah, it was just.
And again, on that one, like again when you was at Rochdale playing at Wembley against Spurs.
That's mad. That.
Mate, 16 then as well.
16. Yeah.
Did you start the game?
No, come on.
Mate, but still,
for one
to play at Wembley, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Second to play, obviously, against Spurs there. And again, bet that was an amazing achievement for you.
Into school the next day, mate.
Playing at Wembley one night and then in the school the next.
9, gets in at 7.
No, it was mad. I was doing a science GCSE revision before the game.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. It was mad. But I ran into Mr. Dembele and it was just like running into that wall. And
really? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like.
Was he as silky as everyone say?
No,
like little drop of shoulders and yeah.
Just ridiculous.
What was that like playing at Wembley?
Again, it was just like. Just didn't feel real, you know, like when you walk out and it's like, wow,
bouncing.
Yeah,
this is everything, you know, that you dream of when you're a kid, and for me to do it that young, it was just mad. Even
again, that young, but also even in your life to play at Wembley.
Not many people get to do
it.
Not many.
It's amazing.
So it's a massive achievement, that.
And obviously it was Spurs, so it was when they were getting the ground done, so it was a bit of luck as well.
Yeah.
We got battered though, but
it doesn't matter. Someone who, again, I refer back to it. Someone, you know, academy parents or players watching this who's at 16 and going, Dan played at Wembley against Spurs at 16. Every lad's dream, every girl's dream to play at Wembley. You know what I mean? And you achieve that. Don't matter whether you got tonked or not. You know what I mean? It's
not at all.
It's an experience, mate.
No, it was brilliant.
What about growing up? Your best influences in?
It's just family, really. Just my mum and dad did absolutely everything for me. Obviously, as a kid, all you want to do, especially in football, is just impress your dad, don't you? So there was a time where I was playing a year up at Rochdale. Must have been about 11 or something. But my dad started doing overtime at work, so he couldn't get to my games. And I think subconsciously, because of that, I started dropping off. Yeah. Because he weren't there.
Wow.
You know, like I said, all you ever want to do is impress him, and you know, if he's not there. My mum's there, but my mum is she's just a mum. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she just wants the best of me. You know, as long as you're happy, Dan.
Yeah.
You know, and
your dad's a bit more hard on you.
Yeah.
Like you want to get in the car and say, "Son, you played well."
Yeah. So the fact that he wasn't there, I probably subconsciously dropped my level, and then ended up getting put back down to my normal age group at Rochdale. And I think that was the best thing to happen to me when I was at Rochdale, because it really brought out new confidence with me. And as soon as that happened, my dad stopped the overtime, come straight back to watching me. And then
I think it's important. That's a good point.
It's a very good point. Yeah,
there'd be players out there might not say it, like younger kids, how much of like a presence the dad actually means to them, or the parents. Do you know what I mean? Because like parents, you just think, oh, he's enjoying it, but them actually being there could affect the performance. Like they want to do well for you. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And that's the case with you.
You don't know anything when you're that age. You know?
Exactly.
I'm not playing as an 11-year-old thinking, I'm going to try and get in Rochdale's first team. You don't even know.
3 years later,
I knew they had a first team. Like
3 years later, that's how mad it is. 3 years later, you were training with the first team. Yeah. You was 11. 3 years later, that is crazy. It's mad.
Yeah.
Again, just to highlight that there, like the sacrifice that the parents make, like financially, like that overtime would have been massive for your household, but the fact that you took a drop and he stopped it, and then you started. I think that's crazy,
how
mate.
important is to him, to you, football was. Do you know what I mean? Just the moments where your dad's there. That's what probably, which is amazing. That's credit to him for doing that.
Yeah, I remember this one week he weren't doing overtime some week for some reason, and then he come to watch me. But I was too far gone now. My level had dropped completely. And I remember he just battered me on the way home, saying, you know, if you play like that ever again, I just won't even take you.
Yeah.
And you need that though, an eye opener.
You do.
To really just, you know, appreciate what you've got. You know, I had my mum travelling up and down the country, and I was just.
Yeah. Again, I think that emotion comes out of him as well because of the sacrifice as well. Yeah. If he's up early, like working,
of course he is,
you know what I mean, like, and his sacrifice, he's probably tired, and he's like, you know, damn, like, you know what I mean. He won't ever say that to you. You know what I mean? Like, he won't ever say that to you, but that's probably why the frustration comes out. Yeah. But it's got to be done in a certain way, and because again, it could go the other way where it's too much pressure, like bomb, and then it gets too much, and then they just don't, like, players just turn not to like football. So there's a fine line. I think it's important to highlight that as well, when and where to do it. Is anyone in the? I know you've highlighted Henderson. Yeah. Was there anyone else in the first team environment?
Just, you know, now I've been around and I've been in a lot of different changing rooms. It's only now that you can appreciate that changing room that I had. Every single player in there was just unbelievable. Just an unbelievable person. You know, you got Calvin Andrew, Ollie Rathbone, Campsey. There's just so many. You could name the whole team. Yeah. Literally the whole team just took me under the wing, and like I said to you before, if they didn't, you know, I don't think I would have done anything what I did.
For us, while we're on that note, obviously the sad passing of Joe Thompson. We seen a video on your Instagram, obviously mumbling and stuff like that, but like the impact that
was on a cruise ship, wasn't it?
the impact that Joe had on you as well in sort of that environment. I think us as a collective, More Than Match, should send our regards to his family, his close friends. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and we all did. Such a great human being on and off the pitch, great player, great person. Like that video, like really touching that. Like look back at and what you said was great, was really nice words as well. Yeah. Like, what a guy, and we send our condolences out to the family.
Yeah, just the best guy you'll ever meet, really. And he was just massive for me in terms of just everything, and he's local, he's from around here, so I think straight away that makes a connection. And like him, Joe Bunny, all local lads, and he's just the best person that you'll ever meet.
No, and again, it's so sad because he's just a great guy, but again, a warrior. The way he battled, the cancer, and again, our condolences go out to Joe and his family. But we thought we'd highlight that because I think me and Damani seeing it, and straight away it was like, even your words, like everything, like I know you had a little bit of humour in it, but like it was meaningful, wasn't it? And it was like it's powerful, mate. So. And again, he's a massive influence as well, and it's great to hear about your family as well. It's brilliant.
There is they are doing a GoFundMe for the funeral, which is not this Monday, next Monday. So
brilliant. We'll try and get that. We'll get that in the link, and anything that we can help with, we will. But no, again, what a guy, and I had the privilege, and we all did. But listen, it's powerful story. D has got another question that he wants to ask you, and then it's the main event. If he forgets that, then then me and him are finished, to be honest.
What would you say overall football has taught you, Dan?
Come on.
I don't know what. I don't understand what.
No, you'll know. You just focus on Damani's question about football taught you.
Football taught me
in general. Could be in life, anything. What's the biggest lesson you think football has taught you?
Biggest lesson? I just don't want to rush the question.
No, take your time.
Always throws everyone off this.
It does. It is. It's every obviously we watch the episodes back, and every time you ask that, I always go, "Oh, it throws someone off this." That's what I do. So I've got to fit that in. Everyone, it's different for people, for everyone. Like we've had again, like. Don't want to out you out a little bit, but we've had for confidence, for mentality, the setbacks,
social.
I think it's just to be grateful, and I say that in a way of like we spoke about my story. I was absolutely flying all the way through, and you don't realise really what you're doing or what you've got until it's taken away from you. And I think. I'd say just to be grateful, and it's a short career, and it's an unbelievable career.
Enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
As much as you can.
Just try and look around as well. Rather than football is so fast paced that you never really do get a chance to. So I would say that. I'm not sure that's the best answer.
No,
it's your answer. It's personal to you.
It's fine about that. It's completely.
Again, me and Damani know you and think you're a great person, but this is why we wanted to do this with you, because again, you said it at the start. You never sat back, and I know you're not done. You're not done by no means, but you need to understand like what you've done so far in your career, and you should be very proud of yourself. It's massive. Because
like you said, like as footballers, you don't take the time to sit back and evaluate where you've been or how you've done, because it's fast. So I think it's important to try and get that out of people, like yourselves and your journey.
It's but then it's finding the time to do it. It's now I do it because I'm injured. And if I'm playing every single every single week? Do you have the time to just sit back and start reflecting? You just want more and more, which is it's like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. Right. It's just all personal, but
enjoy the ride. Yeah. Enjoy the ride. Powerful message. You never know what's going to happen.
No.
Enjoy every minute.
Game of uncertainties, isn't it?
Game of uncertainties. I can't even speak. What's the slogan that knocks around on with the old RH? What's the There's a slogan. There's a certain slogan. Look at him smiling. I can't believe I'm begging it here again.
Can't be up the RH.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Can't be up the RH. We always end with up the RH. We forgot, didn't we, for the last episode? And I've had a few messages. No up the RHs. So
up the RH. The Ginger Wizard.
Yeah, the Ginger Wizard. No.
Nah, it's been
amazing.
I love this story.
Amazing.
And I think it's important that people understand you as a person as well.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on.
Me on.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure. Damani.
Raz.
Dan. More than a match. Like, subscribe. We appreciate you. Thank you.